Hey, welcome everybody. This is John Paul and Dr. Speed Selling. This is Raging Verbalist number 297. For those who are keeping track, hopefully you are. We talk about whatever happens to hit my head and I rage about it. Don't dip into politics too much, but offer some insights and some information on things that kind of bubble up to the top on the surface. Available on YouTube and Facebook. My Facebook group is Position to Win Book, Position to Win Book, and go check it out. Every Friday we kind of go live unless we have technical problems or some other kind of crazy stuff. Okay, so let's talk about what happened this week. And Apple introduced a whole bunch of stuff. They had the big Apple Day, and I'm going to focus on one thing that's very specific. Most everybody that you'll see on the internet got free stuff from Apple. By the way, Apple, if you want to send me free stuff, you already got my address. I buy Apple stuff, so send me free stuff. I'll talk about it. But actually, I look at what I actually purchase and what makes sense. Now, I have been using headsets and wired and wireless and all of that. And when I first heard about Bluetooth, I was like, "Yay! No more wires. Life's going to be great. It's going to be perfect." And I've been doing this for a lot of years, and most of the stuff has been okay. It's getting better, if you will, but not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. And the thing I have ordered, and I am waiting for it. In fact, today's the first delivery date, but I'm not in that first queue. Is the AirPods Pro 3, AirPods Pro 3. Now I have AirPods Pro 1, boo hiss. So that means all of the new features only work on AirPods Pro 2 and above with new software, or AirPods 4. So, I skipped I skipped a generation, but there's a reason for looking at the AirPods Pro 3 and what it can offer me. Now, I have to admit, I have two different kinds of AirPods. I actually have a very cheap version of AirPod, or AirPod knockoffs that I bought at a Walmart for $20, which, are they the best? No, but the battery life on these things doesn't live up to how I use a phone, because I use a phone to make, oh, heaven forbid, phone calls. But anyway, so what were the things that pushed me over and made me say, yes, I'm going to now pony up the money and buy one of these things and now test it out? Now, today is not a test because I don't have them, but I'll tell you why I bought it. And then I'm going to do a road trip, and then I'll come back and tell everybody how it went. And if it was, the good, the bad, and the ugly on all of that. The first thing is that it supposedly has world's best in-ear active noise cancellation. And according to Apple, it offers up to twice the noise cancellation of the previous generation, which is better than my first gen, because it has newly engineered foam-infused ear tips and ultra-low noise microphones, and it does greater sound isolation. All I can tell you is that you need sound isolation if you're going to be on airplanes. There's lots and lots of background noise, lots of hissing, lots of whizzing, lots of other stuff going on. So I'm looking forward to that. That would be nice to have. In fact, this morning, as I was, doing what we happen to do on a Friday, other than this, is I had to make sure the trash was out. Now, while I was doing that, I was on the phone. Yes, I'm on the phone a lot, and of course, it makes lots of noise. And the person who I was talking to said, "Man, that sounds like you're attacking something." Well, hopefully, the noise reduction is going to work even better, and that would be a good thing. The next thing is that it has this new heart rate sensor, and it's the first AirPods to integrate, and it's called PPG. I'm not going to even attempt to, photo something graph. Anyway, it's a heart rate sensor, and it enables heart rate and calorie tracking. They have different work out types. I'm going to test it like walking through airports and stuff. It'd be interesting to see what my heart rate is. Important stuff, right? And I recommend anybody who's out there, little aside, little bonus, if you haven't had your blood pressure checked in a while, go do it. Can tell you, having been around medical clinics and seen lots of patients who were not aware of how their blood pressure was going on, that's something you want to check out. Now, again, it doesn't do your blood pressure. It just does your heart rate, but it would be nice to know what your heart rate is, especially if it's, climbing and you want to get better shape. Probably one of the coolest things, is doing live translation, which enables live face-to-face live language in real time. And it assists users in cross language conversations and on the fly interpretations. It uses the phone, by the way. So The phone has to be upgraded to iOS 26. You have to have now that this apparently is going to be go back to iPhone or AirPods Pro 2. Don't have those, going to have the threes. So it's going to be interesting to see how well the interpretation works. We are living in more and more of a multi-language world, and since I deal with people a lot who speak Spanish, I can speak, I can do like hasta la bye bye. No, it's not Spanish, but it's but anyway, it would be nice to be able to have some rudimentary conversation. Now, there have been devices that will do this. Most of them got like very poor reviews, or as another device to carry around. So that's pretty cool, and we'll see how well it works. I mean, my guess is that you're going to need a fast connection, so you want to make sure you got great service. But it's a step forward, and it's the first time that's really been offered. That's a positive. They've improved the design and fit. So they have a new, smaller architecture. Again, they put the foam infused ear tips. They now have 5 different sizes of ear tips. And I can tell you, having had these devices over the years drop out of my head, not cool, not good, and all of that. Supposedly also gives you better comfort. I agree, that's a good thing. And they did a very large ergonomic research project to figure out, I don't know how many ears they looked at, how many ears they worked on, but it was good. And that's a plus. I'm looking forward to that. And having a better fit is good, especially for noise isolation and all of that. The next thing is that it has what's called IP57 durability, and this is upgraded resistance to dust, sweat, water, and that makes them suitable for, more demanding workouts. I'm not a big workout guy, but more demanding environments. I can tell you, walking through, parts of the world I have been in with, rain and all of that going on would be nice. That you don't think these things are going to short out and zap your brain or something, give you a lobotomy that you didn't even think you're going to be getting, and all of that. The thing that they always do, our next item, is that they have an audio performance upgrade, and you can then do, because they have a custom Apple driver and an upgraded amplifier and all of this multi-port acoustics going on. Deeper bass. I'm not a big bass guy because it's hard to listen to, because I listen to the spoken word. So hopefully it helps with that. Wider soundstage and vivid clarity. I'm hoping it's going to work better for Audible and books, because I can tell you that I like to listen to audiobooks. The thing is that you got to have a great pair of headset to listen to this stuff, because if not, you get a lot of the bass is just drives it out. It has next thing is adaptive audio, next generation adaptive audio. Of course, it's next generation because it's the next one, and it's an advanced adaptive EQ, equalizer, adaptive transparency, personalized spatial audio with dynamic head tracking, and new personal volume, so it learns and adjusts listening patterns. Gonna want to see if that's even close to being true. Most of these kind of things turn out to be like not that true. The one that really is of interest to me is that it claims improved battery life with up to 8 hours of playback with advanced noise cancellation enabled, and that is significantly improved battery life. We'll see how that works and see if that actually does what it's supposed to do. The next thing is that it does hearing aid to a certain extent for mild hearing loss. The best thing about it, though, is that it lets you to kind of test your hearing. I know that my hearing is probably drifting south. Now, when you compare it to buying really expensive hearing aids, my wife wears hearing aids. I mean, they're $2,000 to $4,000 or $5,000 for them. I mean, they're amazing technology, but they're not cheap. This is $250, $249, but who's counting? So I'm looking forward to testing that, and if they work in any way, shape, or form, that's great. I mean, that's nice, to improve hearing. That would be good, because there's a lot of going on out there. They have added what they call advanced controls in Siri. Well, it's about time they've added some stuff. Now, there's always these touch controls. My challenge for all of these types of gesture things is that, trying to learn that. First off, there is no documentation. The world has said we don't need documentation. You just got to kind of figure it out. So, I hear that and I go, well, okay, how am I going to learn all of that stuff? And it says that it's intuitive with their gestures. Well, intuitive for who? We're going to test it. I'll tell you that. And then the final thing is that it's got a MagSafe charging case, which is a fancy way of saying that it has that magnet built in and you can drop it on and charge it. So happens that my vehicle has a MagSafe charger, so we're going to test that, see how that works. That might be cool. Drop the case on there, charge it up. It also features Apple's U2 chip, has nothing to do with the Rock Band, and that's going to be used for more precise find my tracking, find the device. And having lost a pair of AirPods, which then showed up miraculously at a friend's house 7 months after I lost them. I mean, the Find My didn't do what I really needed to do, but that would be cool. And it also has the ability, if you have an Apple Watch charger or a Qi certified charger, to work with that. Now, all of these are improvements for tracking your health, improving your language accessibility, hopefully getting the audio better. And they say it's going to improve the durability and usability and all of those things. So we're going to see. You're going to be on this journey with me. Now, if you're going to be on this journey with me, I'm just going to tell you that there's something that you really should think about doing and getting and putting your hands on, because, of course, this will absolutely help you in your business and what you're going to do. And what that is that you might go check out and get, if I can find it and show it to you, go out and find the most important thing, which is most businesses fail in the first 5 minutes. It just takes them 3 to 5 years to realize it. Position to Win. And go check it out. It's available physically on the Position to Win book website, positiontowinbook.com, positiontowinbook.com. Also, you can go and get it physically from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, any place that they sell books, and say, geez, I want to go get this from John Paul Mendoza Speed Selling. They will be able to order it for you. You can also get it digitally, of course, and you can go get it on Kindle and Apple iBooks and Barnes & Noble Nook, and go check that out. And then on the other side, go check out Remote Work for a Better World. It is a book that still is not dated to the point where it is not usable. Go check it out exclusively on the Kindle store and do that. So let me wrap up by saying I am very excited about getting the new AirPods Pro 3s. I think that they could be a game changer or a positive step forward. Anything that allows you to communicate better is a positive in my mind, and hopefully that will help you out in doing that. So until the next time, this has been John Paul Mendoza, Dr. Speed Selling, and this has been the Raging Verbalist number 297, and we'll see you next week, and hopefully I'll have them by then. Probably won't have them in time for the next one, but soon we'll be hearing you better. Take care, everybody, and that's it.